Hi, I would like to thank you for taking a few moments to open up this browser. My name is Germana. I am a wellness coach, a therapist, a personal trainer, and I'm offering just some ideas and support for people like you and people like your friends and your family to improve your wellness. And wellness is a big word and it means many different things to many different people. I find that for people that are close to me, I'm very aware that, we're all sort of suffering with something. We're, unhappy about something. And yet the question that I want people to start asking themselves is, am I considering myself? Am I learning how to take care of myself before I focus on all of these outside aspects of the world? Many of us are seduced to look out there. Will this make me happy? Will this make me happy? And what most people discover probably a lot later than they wanted to know is that the outside world can never make us happy. The real joy that we seek comes from having some kind of an integral relationship with ourselves, which for many of us have been taught to do just the opposite. We're taught that if we're super skinny, we're successful, or we have lots of money or lots of cars or things, that we're happy. And yet, I can, from the bottom of my heart, tell you I know many people that were very, very wealthy, had a tremendous amount of success based on our society's idea of success, and they're dead because money and success is very short-lived. Our true happiness comes from a relationship that we have with ourselves, that we commit to every single day. That we're like, today, how am I going to honor you? How am I going to take care of you? How am I going to support you in having a balanced, peaceful life within yourself? Most people, don't realize, but we all have like messages that are constantly coming to us through our mind and its recordings, and yet that is where the point of pain always comes from. If you learn to sit and breathe quietly, maybe with your eyes closed, you'll notice that your mind will say, well, you should do this, and you should do that, and what about this, and so-and-so didn't return your call, and what about that text? And that is part of where our real suffering comes from, because we don't even realize that it's just an automated voice, kind of known as the monkey mind, that's constantly rattling off things for us to do, and we, without realize it, start chasing those illusions and think, well, when I get that call, or when I get this, or when I get that, I'm going to be happy. And yet the mind immediately comes up with 3 other things that we chase that then causes us to suffer, because we think that that will stop that voice, and it never does. The tool that I have found to be quite helpful, and it sometimes works better than others. If I'm triggered or stressed, then I have to go back into doing some calm breath work, some awareness. If I'm triggered, then I can tell, because I'm uptight, I'm anxious, I'm not breathing, and I'm waiting for something bad to happen. Now, all I can tell you is that that's the state of the world. People are waiting for something bad to happen, trying to control the outside world, thinking that that's going to change something, and it does not. The real world that we need to connect with is the world behind our eyes. They call it the teacher within you, the light within you, and that you learn to sort of do a little bit of meditation, do a little bit of breath work, even if it's only 5 minutes. Close your eyes if you can, soften your throat, soften your belly, and simply listen to and watch that breath come in and out without attempting to force it. And then you'll notice there's this other voice that's like character assassinating you or someone else. And Michael Singer calls that the unwelcomed house guest that never leaves. And it's part of our ego. It's part of our defense mechanisms that causes us to be incredibly miserable. It will create chaos for us. It will create anxiety for us. It will have defense mechanisms. So we're always guarded, waiting for something to happen, or to be rejected or betrayed. So even when there's nothing happening like that, we'll actually biochemically have those feelings and then attack or retreat. And I know that doesn't sound very comforting, yet we can't be well if we don't know how we contribute to our suffering and how to free ourselves from our suffering. Having a spiritual practice is critical to breaking away from the ego mind, which is always needing to be better than someone else, needing to be smarter, needing to be prettier, needing to be in control. And the idea of control is a complete delusion. It's not something we actually can create. We can create a sense of how do we manage things and have some dignity in that and just be a witness, but we don't really control anything besides how we show up. And in order to show up as your best self and to not harm yourself or harm others, taking that time just to listen, what is one thing I can do today that allows me to be kind towards myself, soft towards myself, keep my word towards myself? Those are the keys. And if you learn how to do that and do like 3 things a day or 1 thing a day that your mind would say you don't have time for that or that's not important, but inside if you did it you would feel so good. Not that you need to, but say that's your commitment to yourself. I'm going to, cook a homemade meal today, or I'm going to commit to doing, half of my exercise routine today, or I'm going to call someone that I really love and say, I really appreciate you. Those are ways that we get to show up. And remember that each little thing begins to become our life patterning. If you come from a background where there's a lot of trauma, you won't be comfortable with calmness. So then there'll be a sense of, I need to create some chaos so I feel normal. And that doesn't make you bad. That just means your subconscious mind has that voice doing that process to try to keep your worldview intact. Now, all I can tell you is I came from a horror show of a life. And I did listen to a number of my teachers who said, if you want to actually help people, you need to do your inner work every day. That's how you contribute to not contaminate your world and the people that come into your contact. And so I've taken that quite literally, and it's helped me. It's helped me let go of the trauma. It's helped me let go of thinking that I'm a bad person. And it's helped me to shine a light for others to say, you matter, I believe in you, and I'm going to sit beside you and help you become your best self. Now, those are words. Once you put them into a plan and into an action daily, your life changes. One of the teachers that I love, he says, there's 3 things you can really do to impact your wellness. How a room feels when you walk into it. So how it looks, is it clean? Is it organized? How it smells, fresh flowers, what a great idea. And how it sounds. So beautiful sounds. It can be just tones and some calming music. But if you create one room that is just to really fill your cup, it's clean, it smells good, and it sounds welcoming, that will be like a tuning fork that recalibrates your nervous system, and then you'll have different quality of thoughts, different quality of energy. And that to me is wellness, because stuff will slip through our hands like sand. We're all going to get older. Getting older is hard. The only other option is being dead. So I suggest that we, invest in quality of living as we go down the road of life. And what most people don't realize, and they're quite unhappy in their own skin, but then they don't have quality relationships because they don't know how to say, I'm scared, I'm hurt, I need help. Fair enough. But if we don't ask for help, we can't get relief. So I hope that something here gives you some resonance that allows you to be your own best friend and make a commitment daily. Notice the voice. When I'm feeling comfortable, there is no voice. It's quiet. When I'm scared, it pings hard. So then I'm like, oh, I'm afraid. And then I'm like, what do you need to feel safe? So there's an intervention. I have a feeling most of the world lives in fight, flight, or feign all the time. And it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility to bring peace, to bring calm to our life. And they can be little things. I love flowers. My teacher said, buy flowers, put them in your house. It's just part of beauty of nature, which is part of all of us. And I'm going to wind this out. So I want to thank you. If you enjoyed this, feel free to share it. I hope that I've given you something to do or not do to take care of yourself so you have some peace. And my name is Germana Robinelli. I live in Nanaimo, BC. And this is my dog, Boo Boo, who just is my little love. And I let myself receive his love as if it's getting a significant need met for connection. And we either get our needs met through a positive way or we get them met destructively. So you get trolls that are online and they'll text all these horrible things. They're getting connection, but they're doing it in a dark way. When in reality, all we want is to belong and be part of. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. And please, if you are open, subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to start to put more information up as my book moves to the next level. Thank you so much.